Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. With that, it's time to crown the champion of the NFC, and to call the action, we send it to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. For a berth in Super Bowl 52, here we go. We're underway in the NFC Championship game. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And Sam Bradford, he has touch and accuracy, and he has it in bushels. This guy is amazing. If you watch him throw 7-on-7 or watch him throw routes versus air, the ball hardly ever hits the ground. He's absolutely a receiver's dream when going out for a pass.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Bradford hands to Cook on the draw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
First time I saw Cam Chancellor was in college at Virginia Tech, and I loved his athletic ability. I loved the way he took care of the middle of the field, but I wondered how that would translate to the NFL. They found the perfect home in Seattle, where they allow him to roam the middle of the field and sometimes act almost as a second middle linebacker to take care of things that come across his way.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll try to throw now. Bradford. And Rudolph has it left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. From the gun, Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got fourth and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Cook getting the handoff from Bradford. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. With 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. This will be caught at about the 6. Bradford hitting Thielen there for a Viking first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They'll run with Cook. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Forbath out to kick this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And some room to roam now. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacey. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
On 2nd down, Lacey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep. Wiley.
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
1 quarter down, 3 to go on the road to the Super Bowl. It's a close game here early on. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Wilson. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Back to the ground, it's Lacey. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Again, it's Lacey. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet and then taken down right at the 30. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They start the drive with Cook. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Attempt carrying the game for Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Play action now. Bradford. Going deep for Diggs. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now Bradford on 2nd down. And he floats one there, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Bradford. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they're likely forced a field goal attempt.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The grab made by Curse over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Baldwin. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Out to the flat for Lacey. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First and 10, it's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Remain here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing again here, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A Seahawk first down. Wilson to his big target, Graham.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now it's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now to throw on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
A give. This is Cook. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation. And
he went nowhere. He'll lose lose yardage back to the 29. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Seahawks have controlled the flow, but it hasn't given them a big advantage. The Vikings won't care how much their offense is on the field as long as they find a way to advance in these playoffs. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Vikings have it near the end of one. Murray's looking for room to run, and he'll go in for the score. 1st and 10. Here the pass is completed into coverage. Vikings strike first in this one, and he'll be tackled at the 26-yard line. But they end up coming away with just 3 on the draw. So that's all for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll get you back out to the field now for some more playoff action.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They run it again with Lacey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
When you take a look at Eddie Lacy, you expect the run we just saw, don't you? A battering ram type of an effort.
Absolutely. Such a tough runner in Alabama where he won those national championships, and a tough runner here in the NFL. Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He'll dump it off to Procise. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st down, Procise. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right there around the 35-yard line. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now, this will be the 9th play on this drive. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Wilson will throw again. He's got Curse. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Again, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again is Wilson. And that's Curse for the Seattle touchdown, hauling it in. Jermaine Curse from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Again, it's Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. Now Bradford. And he's able to find Diggs. A gain of 19 in picking up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Second down, Bradford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. Now it's Wilson. Complete outright to Kurtz. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Now Wilson down around his goal line. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The busy night continues for Lacey. Fighting through, and he's got space. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big run there by Lacey. 44 yards on the ground. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They stay on the ground on first down with Lacey. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Seven yards to go on second down. Here's Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And the Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard near the 25. Wilson finding Kurz, and it's a Seattle first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. On second down, Wilson. Caught by Wilson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front. But then you take one look across the field and see that offense is rearing to come back out, and you think, I don't know, the field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. Right now, Charles, this is the drive of the season. You're on the road here in the playoffs. It's put up or shut up. They need points.
This is where you have to come together as a team, as you just noted, on the road. So that means they've carried that mentality with them throughout. Hey, we've got to go on the road. We've got to rely on ourselves, right? Focus, yet still find the fun in it. How great is this, guys? Look at the spot we're in right now. And then go to your top players, call them the plays that they run best.
They're sort of controlling their own destiny, but this place has been loud. Not going to be easy. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Bradford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. To throw again, Bradford. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 54 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Forbath to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now Wilson on 1st down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got the big tight end Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 29 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth.
Well, we've seen some lead changes, and it certainly appeared that one of these squads was in full control of the game, but that's not the case after that touchdown.
Yeah, they erase a 2 TD deficit here to grab the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. A first down throw for Bradford. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Cook. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Second and goal to go now. They run. Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. The numbers tell the story. Not the best start, but it's not often how you start, it's how you finish. And since that start, he's been good.
Can you just imagine what was going on in the locker room with the defensive coordinator? Because things were working so well. His game plan was in effect. They were holding him down. He was off his game. But you just know that he was nervous at halftime, because you don't hold a guy like that down for very long. And in this case, his fears were realized.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the... And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on 4th down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Emmanuel Lamar coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A toss to Cook, and some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? It's like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And Forbath will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
He'll look to throw. Out to the flat for Lacey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's back to throw. He'll dump it off to Procise. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go there on the spike. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So, Charles, oh so close on one side to getting to that Super Bowl. Oftentimes, we just show the stage and the glitz and the glamour and the confetti. You sometimes forget about those guys going home. It's got to be tough.
It's got to be beyond tough because finding a way to steel yourself, make that resolve to come back and do it again because it took a lot of work just to get to this point. It's going to be a difficult offseason for them. Let's see how they bounce back.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.